Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Together with my friends, we've been playing on the same server for about 2 years. And as anyone knows, if you've played a world for such a long time, it kinda gets boring over time. We've built amazing things for sure, but now it really was time for a new adventure. So make sure to subscribe to follow our adventure. Before we could start on our new adventure, we need a couple things to get started. So, firstly we need the seed, and then the location, some food and some basic materials such as iron armor, some tools, and other necessities. Let's start with the seed. We've tried various of seeds until we found this seed. For us, this was the most perfect seed we could get. It gives us enough space to be away from all the other players, but it also still allowed us to build connecting, buildings or constructions. Therefore, we decided to go for this seed. So now that we have our seed, we can tick that off the list. Let's go and find our perfect locations right now. So Mark really wants us to have an island base. And on this map we have a very big island, or mushroom island actually. It's all the way on the left in the pinkish color. So that is now Mark's base. Moving on to me, I also really wanted to have an island base. So I took the island next to Mark's to the north of spawn. So that means there's only 3 people remaining, con artist, Loki and Linny. They somewhat chose to be relatively close to each other, to the south of spawn. So now all of our locations have been chosen and everyone knows where we'll be building our bases. Let's just quickly jump back to our overview. So now we have completed 2 of our 4 objectives. Let's just quickly jump onto the server and let's see what happens and get a world started, I guess. So now we are on the server, we need to find a reliable way of transportation. In my case, my base is quite far from spawn. And on top of that, there's a lot of ocean in between. So of course we have to go for the old trusty boat. Now I've collected all of the materials I needed, including the boat, and I've showcased my remarkable knowledge of Minecraft recipes. It's time to make our journey down to the base. Eventually I ran into a ship. I stole its loot and I continued on my way. We made it to the island, however it's already turning night, so I decided that we should get some basic tools, some food, as we didn't have a bed yet, so we could skip the night. So therefore I went to spend the first night mining, getting some gear, some coal, some iron, or at least hoping for some iron. So during the night I spent my time getting a cave base ready to go, placed a crafting table in there and a furnace. On top of that I found some coal and some iron. With the coal I created torches to place around the cave I was mining in and on top of the cave, so monsters couldn't really spawn and then just ambush me kind of in the cave. I wasn't really prepared for that because I did not have any gear or tools at that moment. I cut down some more trees. So I went back to base, grabbed myself an axe and a hoe.
Whoa.
And I went on my way to explore the area around my base. I found out that I couldn't really place my weed down directly. This was because the elevation from the water and the land was too high. So I couldn't really reliably place my weed down instantly. So I really needed some iron so I could get a bucket going so I could carry the water to the new farm. In the previous night I had only found 1 piece of iron. For a bucket I would need 3 pieces of iron, and that sadly meant I had to go back to mining. After looking around in the cave for quite some time, I only found 1 extra piece of iron. That meant I was still short of 1 piece of iron. I looked everywhere and I really couldn't find a specific spot where I could reliably strip mine. And there was no exposed piece of iron, which meant that for this night I went outside and I collected some wool, made my own bed, and I went to sleep. So again, going back to mining, because we still needed a bucket. I needed 3 pieces of iron, and these 3 pieces of iron weren't easy to get. So I decided to go down deep into the ground, and I managed to actually find some iron, and it were not some small pieces luckily. And a little bit further I found even more iron. In total I now had 15 ores and 2 iron bars that I previously already smelted down. So I went outside, crafted a shovel, dug a hole, and got myself a bucket. So now it's time to plow the fields and then plant our wheat. That way we don't have to rely on animals and killing animals anymore, because this is time consuming and it costs a lot of fuel to cook the meat. Of course, I quickly ran out of seeds, and thus I had to collect some extra seeds so I could plant some more wheat down, so they can all grow in the same time as much as possible. Going back to our overview, we can now see that we have the seed, the location, but also, the best of all, we have gotten ourselves a steady supply of food. Last objectives being proper tools and gear meant for me that I really had to get iron tools and iron armor so I could really advance in the game without dying too quickly. Eventually I had my iron pickaxe and a full iron set. So it took me some time to find this, of course, and I did some off-camera mining like all of the other YouTubers that do this. And I got myself the first iron set, and I decided to continue mining for a little bit more. Everything was going quite well until this happened. So now I was back at the start with no food, no tools, no gear, no nothing. So I really want to thank you for watching the first episode. I'm gonna cut it short here. I'm gonna try my best to at least upload in a regular interval, but I find it very difficult to be within the creative stage and the editing phase. So I hope you bear with me. Feel free to subscribe. No pressure if you don't. Have a good day.